The evaluation will be carried out by the human resources area of the company through the proposed application of the quantitative measurement instrument, which is a survey targeted to the middle level of the management of the company. In this case, it is directed towards bosses and subordinates so that the information can be collected from different angles in organizational positions. This will all be linked to a control panel generated by the spreadsheet. This will all be under the Google Drive platform in spreadsheets, and it will have the format of a Google Drive survey, which can be linked to any electronic form or way so that anyone can do it in any time. This will all have a real-time monitoring based on the information sent by the employees' teams, and it will have a graphical information that is easy to interpret and compare, facilitating the generation of conclusions about the performance of the members in the organization and being able to resolve the problems detected in organizational culture in a positive way as part of the feedback process. Within best practices for doing standardized and fair assessments of both procedure and outcomes, we found out the followings. Include development plans for the future. Design an action plan with specific objectives for each of the partners, documenting the goals expected to be achieved and the way forward to achieve them. Train managers in performing performance evaluations. Managers who will act as evaluators must be able to identify the potential of each of their employees and make the most of their capabilities. Achieve coherence across the organization. This practice should be part of the culture of the organization since the beginning and should be well implemented in the recruitment and selection process. Encourage regular feedback. Feedback should be constant so you can make sure each member of your team is working in their areas of opportunity and learning the skills and competences they require. Implement 360 degrees assessments. This type of assessment functions as a support to the review by providing an important factor of objectivity to the process. It gives a wider and broader picture to all of the organization. Recognize that goals and objectives can be adjusted. Constantly keep reviewing and updating the goals considered for your staff's performance evaluations. This can be assured if, as discussed above, you implement quarterly or semi-annual partial revisions. Objective indicators that should be monitored to obtain statistics of specific work-related behaviors are the Net Employee Promoter Scores. It measures the probability that the organization is recommended to work, and it provides information on the satisfaction of each employee. The Q12. It helps to measure the level of commitment of workers by identifying the elements that link the worker with the organization. The Happydometer. It is an indicator that tries to measure the degree of increasing optimism in the organization calculated from the interactions with motivating elements. The average time to achieve goals. It is responsible for measuring the efficiency of employees, as it clearly shows their performance in a period of time, and it is able to compare them with their colleagues in the same area. How should a feedback evaluation on performance evaluation be planned and conducted, and how to make constructive criticism? So at first, to engage into a feedback planification for performance evaluation, one must be aware of what are the indicators or areas that have interest of being in constant growth, so that you as a company or organization know what is it that you are going to have to focus on when evaluating, so you can later give the analysis and the feedback. First is to define those areas. Next is to define how is it that you can measure those indicators of areas. This could be done by surveys, meeting, tangible results, among many others. After it, you must have a system or a team that dedicates their efforts to analyze the data. Sometimes a third company is hired for this. And at last, there are a variety of ways of giving feedback. Most of the times, if there are a few persons evaluated, a one-on-one meeting is the most effective way of doing it, since you have the human touch to do it. But they can also be given in an electronic way for them to read it. The key on giving feedback is to be very specific and to have arguments on why it is important to get better at the specific competence or activity. and how to do that. Also, it is important to be clear and limit the focus on each of the aspects of the feedback so that the one being evaluated understands the importance and the specific area to get better and the how to do it. Some of the complementary ways and aspects that the EMP should have are the offering of the evaluation process in an electronic way with availability both from phone or computer so that the ones being evaluated can have options. Also, the feedback results could also have the variability of being given in an electronic way or in a physical one. The system should also have efficiency on time so that the one being evaluated can decide on when to do it. And lastly, the system should have the complementary systems to be measured and specific keys so that the analysis of the data can be made efficiently.
Hi guys, here we have our program. This program is designed from situations that involves the managers and employees. Well, now I'm gonna to show it how this works. For example, let's say that we have here the files in the cloud. This is designated to employees. Well, we have the QRs that we can share with our team to make it easy. Well, let's see the service. These are the service that it works with the KPIs that we have designed. Well, for example, we're gonna do some tries to show it how this works. We have the information collected from them. Well, let's see how this works. Well, we're gonna answer. This information it will be illustrated in the monitor. Well. The profit of this is the make easy analyze information about our employees and the performance of them. Well, alright, we can see how this graphic it works. With this information, we can solve some problems that we should not be detecting. For example, we can see a bit of information that is relevant. We can see that our workers are compromised with his labor. This is shown with this graphic, and well, that means that we are doing a great job in that aspect. And well, this is all. Bye.
For the evaluator, it is suggested that the instructions of the survey are easy to follow and given constantly to avoid mistakes. Also, it is important to have deadlines on when to have the results and evaluations made. Also, a timetable for making the analysis and the feedback. As for the attitude towards the evaluation, the evaluator must inspire trust, privacy, and must clarify the importance of it, so that the ones being evaluated make it to the best of their ability and obtain great results.